The Amateur is a high-stakes action thriller that delves into the emotional and psychological turmoil of a man caught between duty, grief, and personal vendetta. The film opens with a tense prologue set in a war-torn region overseas. A covert CIA operation goes catastrophically wrong, leading to the death of Emily Hartley, wife of Jack Hartley, a top-tier cryptographic analyst working for the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. Emily was an aid worker kidnapped by a terrorist cell known as the Crescent Front, and her public execution is broadcast across global media channels, leaving Jack devastated and traumatized. The opening sequence sets the tone for the rest of the film, raw emotion mixed with fast-paced, gritty action sequences. Jack, once a brilliant but sheltered intelligence officer who worked behind a desk, finds himself unraveling after the loss of his wife. He begins suffering from severe PTSD, hallucinations, and survivor's guilt. His life spirals into isolation, alcoholism, and self-blame. Act I: The Descent. Jack is pulled out of active service and placed on medical leave. His colleagues at the CIA try to support him, particularly his longtime friend and field agent, Maya Torres, who urges him to seek professional help. But Jack refuses, haunted by memories of Emily and his inability to protect her. During this time, he discovers encrypted messages hidden within the footage of Emily's execution. Using his skills, he deciphers part of the message, revealing that Emily may have uncovered something vital before her death, information that could lead to the dismantling of the Crescent Front. Believing that the CIA is not doing enough to pursue the terrorists responsible for Emily's murder, Jack decides to take matters into his own hands. However, he knows he lacks the necessary field training to confront a well-armed and highly organized terrorist network. So, he resorts to blackmailing his superiors, leaking classified data to force the agency into giving him what he wants: combat training and access to covert operations. This act of defiance shocks the agency, and Jack is brought in for interrogation. Instead of being arrested or discharged, the CIA sees potential in using Jack's obsession as leverage. They agree to train him under strict supervision, assigning him to a Black Ops mentor named Agent Daniel Voss, a former Delta Force operative turned rogue trainer known for pushing agents beyond their physical and mental limits. Act 2: Training and Transformation. The second act follows Jack through his grueling transformation from a desk-bound analyst into a field-ready operative. Under Voss's brutal regimen, Jack undergoes intense physical conditioning, weapons training, hand-to-hand combat, and simulated missions designed to test his resilience and decision-making under pressure. During this phase, the audience gets to know more about Voss, a mysterious figure with a dark past. Flashbacks reveal that Voss was involved in a failed mission years earlier, which resulted in civilian casualties and his forced retirement. Now he lives off-grid, training only those deemed lost causes, people like Jack who are too emotionally unstable to function normally but possess untapped potential. As Jack progresses, his relationship with Maya deepens. She becomes both a confidant and a moral compass, warning him that vengeance will not bring closure. Meanwhile, Jack starts receiving anonymous tips and leads pointing to the whereabouts of key Crescent Front operatives. He begins secretly following these leads, often against orders, putting him at odds with his trainers and the agency. A turning point occurs when Jack successfully infiltrates a minor Crescent Front safehouse and retrieves valuable intel, including coordinates for an upcoming attack. This earns him reluctant respect from his superiors but also raises concerns about his recklessness. However, during a live-fire exercise, Jack freezes during a simulated hostage situation, reliving the moment Emily was killed. It becomes clear that his trauma is still affecting his performance. Voss intervenes, offering Jack a brutally honest assessment: "You're not ready. You're chasing ghosts." Act 3: The mission begins. Despite reservations, Jack is assigned to a joint task force targeting the Crescent Front's leadership. The mission is twofold: stop an imminent terror attack on a U.S. embassy in Turkey and capture or kill the group's leader, Khalil Rahman, the man directly responsible for Emily's death. Jack is embedded with an elite team led by Maya, now promoted to field commander. Their objective is to intercept Rahman during a secret arms deal in Istanbul. The operation begins smoothly, but things quickly go south when the Crescent Front ambushes the team. Jack freezes again during the firefight, nearly costing the team their lives. Realizing that his trauma is compromising the mission, Jack considers stepping back. But Maya convinces him to stay, telling him, "You don't need to be perfect. Just keep moving forward." Rahman escapes, but the team captures one of his lieutenants, Faris al-Khatib. who reveals that Rahman plans to launch a coordinated attack on 3 Western embassies within 72 hours using suicide bombers equipped with biometric encryption devices, technology eerily similar to Jack's own work at the CIA. Jack realizes that his own algorithms were stolen and repurposed by the Crescent Front, possibly with inside help. Determined to fix his mistake, he proposes a solo infiltration plan to track down Rahman's hidden base in the Carpathian Mountains of Romania. Act 4, The Final Confrontation. Against orders, Jack goes rogue, using his hacking skills to bypass CIA surveillance and travel to Romania alone. With limited resources and no backup, he navigates hostile terrain and enemy patrols to locate Rahman's compound. Inside the compound, Jack faces off against multiple Crescent Front operatives, utilizing everything he learned during his training. The action intensifies as he moves deeper into the facility, finally confronting Rahman face-to-face. In a dramatic showdown, Jack and Rahman engage in hand-to-hand combat. Rahman taunts Jack, reminding him of his failure to save Emily. Jack nearly kills him in a fit of rage, but stops himself at the last moment, realizing that killing Rahman won't erase the pain. Instead, Jack subdues Rahman and transmits his location to the CIA. Reinforcements arrive, capturing Rahman and dismantling the Crescent Front's leadership structure. The planned attacks are thwarted thanks to Jack's intel. Epilogue, Redemption and Closure. Back in Washington, Jack is hailed as a hero but faces disciplinary action for going rogue. Despite this, the CIA offers him a formal position in the field, a testament to his growth and capability. In a quiet moment, Jack visits Emily's grave. He leaves behind a letter expressing his love and letting go of his guilt. He finally finds peace, understanding that while he couldn't save her, he honored her memory by fighting for justice without losing his humanity. The final scene shows Jack walking away from the cemetery looking toward the horizon, no longer defined by his grief but ready to embrace a new chapter. Themes and character arcs. Jack Hartley, the reluctant hero. Jack's journey is one of transformation, from a broken man consumed by grief to a disciplined operative capable of controlling his emotions and making rational decisions under pressure. His arc explores themes of trauma, redemption, and the cost of vengeance versus justice. Agent Daniel Voss, the mentor. Voss serves as a harsh but necessary guide for Jack. His own unresolved guilt mirrors Jack's struggles, and his eventual belief in Jack becomes a pivotal moment in the story. Maya Torres, the voice of reason. Maya provides balance to Jack's impulsive nature. Her character represents loyalty, professionalism, and emotional strength. She challenges Jack to grow not just as a soldier, but as a person. Khalil Rahman, the antagonist. Rahman is not a caricature villain but a complex antagonist driven by ideology and personal conviction. His dynamic with Jack adds depth to the conflict, forcing both characters to question their motivations. Visual style and tone. The Amateur adopts a gritty, grounded aesthetic reminiscent of films like Sicario, Zero Dark 30, and American Sniper. Cinematography focuses on realism with handheld camera work during action scenes and muted color palettes reflecting the bleakness of Jack's internal world. The score, composed by Lorne Balfe, blends tension-building orchestral motifs with minimalist electronic beats, enhancing the suspense and emotional weight of key moments. Critical reception and cultural impact. Upon release, The Amateur received praise for its realistic portrayal of trauma and recovery, strong performances particularly by the lead actor, and tightly woven narrative. Critics noted its departure from typical action movie tropes, focusing instead on psychological depth and character development. The film resonated with audiences dealing with loss and personal struggle, sparking discussions about mental health in the context of military and intelligence work. It was nominated for several awards, including Best Original Screenplay and Best Actor at major award ceremonies.